If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube or follow us here on Instagram. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's December 19th, 2019, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, just one event coming out of the United Kingdom, MPC, official bank rate number coming out. This is an important number, but I don't think it's going to add too many surprises to the markets. Now, yesterday was a massive day in United States history. The third president to be impeached in the United States. That doesn't mean that he's going to be removed from office. That just means that it's basically going to move to another house of the government, which is the Senate, to vote on it. And probably it's not going to go through. He's not going to be removed from office, but it is significant, okay, and has added some temper on the markets. Now, looking at the markets, pretty much unchanged. In the currencies, we remain sluggish, while the Dow Jones is just steady in light of these impeachments against President Trump. Now, looking at the commodities, gold's starting to perk up, maybe because of the unsettledness of what's the situation. And oil's still on its highs, not breaking out higher, but I expect that push to actually happen. Now, looking at the stocks treading water, which means that they're not going up, they're not going down, they're staying steady, a little bit of a takeoff. So I'm a little bit positive about this because I would have expected the markets to actually sell off. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, it bounces off of that lower support at 6,800, but let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So after all said and done, we're looking here at the Euro USD. After last week's massive lead up to the vote in the UK, you see that we're pretty much into common territory, okay? We're still in a very tight range, not really trading with tremendous umph. We were basically in a 25 to 30 pip range, okay? So again, the currencies retreat back to their current characteristic, which is not volatile, okay? So I would put more of my focus on some of the stocks, maybe some of the commodities, as opposed to Forex symbols right now, because they're not really volatile. There's not much going on. Looking at the GBP USD, we retraced a little bit further yesterday, just about 25 to 30 pips. Again, not doing much, okay? I would have expected it to actually bounce off of these levels, but it's not. So it may just be treading water for some time until we get some real kind of news that comes out, either positive or negative, but some kind of real news, okay? It's still lingering in the background as to how Brexit will unfold. That's something that we need to consider going into the end of the year. Now, looking at the commodities, okay, we're going to jump into gold right now. Gold is trading at 1476 right now, really unchanged, okay? Not doing much, okay? Really just trading water. Now, I did mention this before that we are at the upper range here, okay? So it might be an interesting thing to start actually, shorting a little bit in the anticipation it's going to retreat a little bit, okay? But not really perking up more than this, okay? So it is perking up, but it's not really taking off, which might indicate that it's actually going to retreat and going to trade within its range still, okay? So something to consider. However, looking at oil, okay, it is solidifying. It's gaining a little bit of momentum every single day, just a little bit, and I do expect it to jump up at a certain point, okay? There we go. That's a little clearer, 60.86, and you see we do have some volume to back up this nice rally that we've had, okay? This is consistent rally, consistent volume, and you see every time the volume spikes, it's usually in a place where actually we went higher, okay? Which is indicative that it's still in an upwards momentum and may still continue to be in an upwards momentum, but you do need to know that where its levels are in terms of resistance, okay, we don't have much resistance here, but we do have, above this area, we don't have much resistance, excuse me. If we look at it here right now, just looking briefly, we are still in this range, okay? So as long as we haven't broken up above the $61 range, okay, it's still hitting resistance, okay? When it does break above it, I do expect it to go to $65 a barrel, okay? And this is something I've been discussing over the last couple of days. It's been solidifying. It's been, making some higher highs, higher lows, which makes it a very strong trend line, okay? And makes it something that may follow through. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, okay? We're pretty much treading water, as you can see here, up in the upper range of this 28,300-ish level. We're trading right now, 28,080-ish right now, so we're only about 50 points off of our all-time highs, okay? So I'm not being rattled by the market, okay? All in all, it's kind of a confusing situation with the president right now, but still, I don't expect him to be removed from office whatsoever. in light of the fact that the Senate, which is the one that will be the actual body of the government that decides whether or not he stays stays as a president, is mostly Republican. So with that said, it is very unlikelihood that they're going to vote to remove him for office, okay? And this is really just very damaging to the Democrats as well, because it just, shifts some of the, bad blood between the two parties, okay? Now, looking at some of the stocks, Bank of America still relatively very strong. The bank stocks are still very strong. We're looking at JP Morgan as well. Google staying afloat, not breaking out higher, but staying afloat. Microsoft also staying afloat, okay, but not breaking out higher. I do expect it to have some sort of move, either going into the end of the year, either breaking out a little bit higher, okay, or taking a little bit of take profits at these levels before the end of the year. That still may happen as we enter the last week. Okay, now next week obviously is Christmas, a week from yesterday, and that means some of the markets will be affected for it, not just on Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve. Also, the markets are affected for it, and surely the week after, which is New Year's and New Year's Eve, will be affected by it as well. So just you do want to know that that's coming out. Now looking at Bitcoin. This is what I was talking about. And this is something I've been following for quite some time. And you guys know this, okay? It hit the 6,600 and bounced right off of it, okay? There was a nice little rally right there from 625 to 7,000. Nice little bounce, okay? And it's hitting now on our moving average. So this is a telltale sign. If it does break above it, maybe we'll have a little bit of a trading range between this 7,500-ish level, okay? And find ourselves, trading within this range, okay? This is the upper range, this is the lower range, and trading just between these areas, okay? So this may unfold as we enter this week. Now, cryptocurrencies are still in the frontier stage, okay? Haven't been really fully adopted. Some of the new cryptocurrencies are coming out. Facebook is still looming in the background, okay, thinking that it's going to come out. And in fact, I didn't cover the stock, but it is doing very well yesterday. It continued its rally to our top range right there, as you can see. So with that said, okay, right now we're at this range right here, okay, at this $200 range. If that does break out, that's an important level for us to really consider. That may even take us higher on the NASDAQ, okay? So, there's still a few variables here that could push us higher in the markets. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day.